Every now and again I run into a game where the glaring flaw is both pronounced and quite subtle. I Love the Core is a freeware 2017 RPG about you taking the role of the colonial marines as they dive deep into hostile areas of the galaxy to kick some ass and take some names. It's also one of the hardest fucking games I've ever read. For some unholy goddamn reason, they decided to use this font for a majority of the book. While to some it may look appealing, rest assured, it was agony for me in my eyes. But you're not here to listen to me wax about font choices, you want the game. I Love the Core is, at its most basic, a D6 RPG, but that would be a little bit too simple, so we're going to need to go over some things. First things first is the attributes. Instead of things such as strength or dexterity, there is powerhouse and freaking ninja. Every ability is a tad odd and is measured by their score. Now you may see part 2 of this explanation. Each score is going to be having a passive effect for narrative and action scenes, as well as various penalties and bonuses for situational modifiers in the field. Those passives and modifiers fundamental to the gameplay. When you're making a check, what you're going to be doing is looking for success levels or SL. You will always need +1 on whatever the target number is to succeed, with additional SL used for bonuses such as going faster, hitting harder, or doing better. If that were the end of it, that'd be easy. However, welcome to part fucking 3, the actual system, and I will do my best, but let me explain beats and scenes. Each scene is composed of beats. Narrative have 1 to 3, action goes until it's over. Each beat has you make an active and passive use of your abilities. For example, let's say I want to move through a spooky corridor. If I use my active sentry duty and passive freaking ninja, I'm going to roll 1d6 plus my basic sentry duty and just use the other's passive score for a narrative scene. However, I can also do the opposite in this situation. Now, you may think that the target numbers have to be a little low then, and the answer is, good joke. Most target numbers are going to be around 5 or 6, unless you're dealing with a 0 SL situation or opponents. There are many situations where you just need to build the SL up, such as moving in combat. Combat is the actual same idea as above, using active, passive, and everything else to build SL, because every single talent, item, or anything else in this game is about one key thing: building SL. When you take a damage, you're in fact taking SL plus weapon damage SL to your lethal status to match a threshold, but that's going to be reduced by your hard-ass score, which can be multiple different things depending on the situation. Ideally, a character is going to take a combination of abilities to shift around their bonuses to the ideal state, as it is entirely possible to be completely incompetent in combat in all forms, but resist an insane amount of damage, as your various character-related situations also give you SL uppers and downers. I Love the Core has one unique glaring flaw, is that the system boils down to a 1d6 plus mod game, and the math behind things makes that hard, as it doesn't want you to risk anything. It wants you to sit back and with a little abacus and calculate up your little bonuses to make sure you have a decent shot of doing anything, as even a +1 or +2 can be a major game changer in this system, but it still wants you to juggle those little passives as well, which leads to that very little subtle issue of being explained terribly, as it throws dozens of pieces of information at you at different intervals throughout the book and expects you to get everything in order on your first read through. The fact that there are dozens of modifiers for different things and each item having different augments and different situations that they're going to be used in that modify different aspects, all for the potential of an exhilarating +1 to virus immunity during manfish bear wrestling, makes the entire thing slow. I can't even say, well, there has to be a lot of toys to play with, because everything relies on that passive active beat system. And if that doesn't work for you, and if things go a little bit slow, it's going to slow down the entire experience. I don't love the Core. My name is Notepad, and this was I Love the Core. If you like what I do here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and many thanks to the High Command for greenlighting this foolhardy expedition. Godspeed and good luck.